Hi, my name is Marissa with Optic Imaging. Welcome to your training video. Logging into your Optic Slim. Once you power on your system, the application will open up. From here, your login name is going to be admin, and then your password is going to be 1234 checkmark login. The system's loading. From here, every now and then it might say system update. If a system says to update, just press OK. That's just going to do its updates, no additional charge. Logging into the Wi-Fi. To connect to your Wi-Fi, we're going to say exit software. We're going to go into settings. We then go to network. And from here, we have our Wi-Fi. It's going to pick up on your Wi-Fi network. We can go ahead and select it, put in your password, and it will connect it to your Wi-Fi. Adding a customer. Once your patient arrives, make sure they have a clean, dry face. If they do not have a clean, dry face, go ahead and remove their makeup, including SPF, and then come over and build their profile. To build a profile, we go customer, and then from customer, we go plus sign, and now we're able to start to build out this profile. 4 pieces of information we absolutely need: name, gender, birth date, telephone number. So I'm going to go ahead, I press that little arrow, and I'm going to type in the name, check. And then male or female, date of birth. So we just scroll on here all the way to the year, the month, and then the day. It's very important to make sure we're putting in the right birth year. That's what comes up with those percentiles. Save. And then telephone number. Telephone number is needed in case you have duplicates of the same name. And then enter. Now we have all 4 pieces of information. We can fill out anything else on here that we want of additional information, whether it's their email, address, career, interest, products being used. I do like this because we can chart on here what they're using, press enter, and now all those chart notes will be saved in their profile. Another really nice feature is image. If I touch this and press shoot, my camera is going to light up, and now I can take a profile picture of my patient. So they'll look directly at the camera, smile, this is not a scan, hit that green button. Profile picture is taken. I hit my check mark here, and now that profile picture will be with my customer always. Save that. It's going to save into the list. This is alphabetical. I can go down to here, find that profile. If I go back to home, it's saved right to the front of the line. Go into that profile, completely empty, ready to start building out. If I need to modify any information about my patient, I'll go right here to the little green pencil, and from here I can modify any of this information I need to update. Press the check mark, press save, and now the information's updated. Conducting a skin analysis. So I hit new analysis, and then we're gonna have our patient put their chin on that chin rest, and then their forehead right against the forehead stop. We want to make sure that forehead is right where that hairline is and pressed all the way up against that. So with our patient's face in the scanner, I'm going to hit that green button just one time, and it's going to take a series of 3 pictures. We have RGB, which stands for red, green, blue. That's a high definition photo. UV, which is an ultraviolet, and then PL, which is cross polarized. You'll see all 3 photos will populate right on the bottom here. Once those 3 photos populate on the bottom, we can have our patient remove their face from the scanner, and then we hit that little green arrow there. Now we come up with this image here, which is where we can change those parameters. parameters. So let me go ahead and get into an actual scan. So after we hit that green arrow, it's gonna come up with this image right here. Now we have these little red dots and we're able to move these parameters around. So when we're taking these parameters and moving them around, what we wanna make sure is there's no hairs within the parameters, including the eyelashes, around the hairline, and that it's completely covering all of the skin that we want in the analysis. So I'm gonna pull these all down and around, up around the eyelashes, and then all around this forehead area. So I'm just taking these little red dots, moving it all around. This looks good to me. This is a pretty good parameter. Now, some patients, some providers, they want to include this chin. They want to include the lips in these parameters, and that's okay. If you do that one time, you want to make sure every time you scan that patient, these parameters, they stay consistent, okay? Because if we include all of this texture, all of these conditions that are here one time and not the other, it's gonna throw off our percentiles. So make sure everything that you want included one time is in there, it's included the next time. So from here, I hit Precise Analysis. What it's gonna do, it's gonna take those 3 photos and it's gonna break it down into 10 different skin conditions. It's also taking the product and service recommendations that we have loaded into the device and making the recommendations based on its findings. So this does take a bit of time, 30 seconds. During this time, I like to talk to my patient about what a percentile is and the difference between percentage and percentile. Once our images pop up, you're gonna see a number right here. That's a percentile. A percentile is an average. So average 0 to 100 is 50 because it's right in the middle. Anything below 50 is below average. Anything above 50 is above average. If this was a percentage, it would be out of a whole, 100 being a whole. So 31 percentile is really not that bad, where 31 percentage is not so good. So make sure you explain the difference so our patients aren't concerned when they see this number. So let me talk you through the 10 different skin conditions. You'll notice on the top here, we have our RGB lighting, our UV lighting, and then our polarized lighting. So that's what those images are taken with, those filters. We have the little green ribbon. If we tap that, the blemishes remove, the outlines, and then tap it, and then they go back. So we can zoom in and out of every condition. So let's talk about what they are. RGB pores. RGB pores are how deep our pores are, how dense they are. You're gonna notice 2 different colors here. We have purple and we have red. The red are the deeper, bigger pores. The purple are not so severe. RGB spots. So the spots on her skin that are red, if your patient has rosacea, broken capillaries, that's where this is showing up. RGB wrinkles. The wrinkles on the skin, the laxativity in the skin, it's gonna be outlined here. You will notice on the nose, sometimes you'll see some wrinkles. This is caused from dehydration or frequent facial expressions. It's very common to see it on the nose. Also, it's really nice around the lips too. If you're focusing on smoker lines, doing fillers around the lips, it's really nice to outline that. PL texture. So this is the texture of the skin, where it's smooth, where it's rough. You'll notice the different colors here. We have yellow. The yellow is what we want to see. Anything yellow is smooth. Anything of that orange is gonna be of a pitted, deep texture. Anything green and blue is gonna be rough, so microderms. UV porphins. These are those P. acnes, the acne-causing bacteria. If you see a lot of P acne, it doesn't mean they are acneic. It doesn't mean they have breakouts that are active. It just means they have that bacteria in the skin that needs to be pulled out. UV pigmentation, pigmented lesions that are deep in the skin. We have two different colors again. We have the red and then we have green. So with the red, these are darker pigmented lesions, and then the green are a little bit lighter. So as you start to work on these conditions, you'll notice those little red outlines start to disappear, turn into little green ones, and then eventually those green ones will go away as well. So that's just kind of them fading out in the different colors. UV moisture. So moisture is the lipid levels on the skin. So lipid is the oils, the natural oils of the skin. Anything that has a higher density of the lipids, it's gonna be shown in the pink here. And you'll notice it more like around her hairline too. So it's very common around the hairline, around the nose, where those lipid levels are a little bit thicker. And then you'll see the light blue. These are thinner levels of lipids, so that means it's more dry. What we really want to see is that dark blue. That's what's going to show us a good barrier, a good lipid level. Sensitive areas. So this is where her barrier is broken down, where her skin is more compromised. You'll notice here she has a blemish, it's outlined. That means her skin is compromised there. What that's telling us is if we did a IPL on her, maybe we want to stay away from that. If we did a chemical peel, maybe a salicylic to pull out those impurities, that's where it's going to be frosting first. So where her barrier is more broken down, where it's more compromised. Next, we have brown areas. These are those pigmented lesions deep in the skin in that dermal layer. If you're doing IPLs, this is going to be where you're seeing the results of that third IPL in the skin. I love it if I tap on here, it removes all those outlines. I can really see where it has those pigmented lesions. And then if we kind of go back to here, you can't really see them that much, but if I go back to this one, right, it highlights deep under the skin. So with these cross-polarized images, this is what you can't see with the naked eye. Next, we have UV damage. So UV damage is the damage caused by the UV rays, the #1 ager of the skin. So where her skin is broken down, where that collagen is a little bit more dense, you'll see the hollowing under the eyes. So with this one, it's gonna be those collagen induction therapies. After we read all of these images, what we're gonna do is go to analysis report. This is where all of the products and services that you offer will be recommended based on skin conditions. So her pores, it's recommending that hydrofacial. Her spots, the wrinkles, the texture. So again, this is anything you have that will be uploaded into the device is gonna be recommended based on the percentiles that you have associated it with. So we have the red, the yellow, and the green, and then we have those little percentiles underneath here. Once you would go through and figure out where they're more in the red, where we're gonna start our treatment today, we go ahead and we'll go to General Report. General Report is gonna be all of those recommendations of products and services compiled into one list. And then we have this line chart on the top. You'll see on the bottom axis, it says pores, spots, wrinkles. These are the conditions it's scanned for. Our pink line is gonna be her skin age per skin condition, and then these percentiles. So it says for her pores, she's a 25-year-old at 31 percentile. Her age is 25. So that means she's right on point. Her porphins, however, are a little bit lower. They're a little bit poorer. So she's actually at a 26-year-old average for those porphins. Once we go through, figure out what we're gonna do with her skin, I can go ahead, press SD card save. That SD card will be loaded into the bottom here. Now it says it's saved successfully. Now that I can save that, it's gonna have all of those images on that one file and then this whole report of all the products and services recommended. Comparative analysis with returning patients. So you'll do your treatment with your patient and then they come back for their follow-up. So that's gonna be about 4 weeks out. We can go back right into their folder and all of their scans we've ever taken will be held on into this file. I can select any two images I want. So all the way from baseline to what we just scanned, or I can go ahead and do side by side the most relevant ones here. Compare now, and it's showing me side by side how her skin has changed from one treatment to another. So we have 610 and we have 227. The dates are right here. The percentiles are right here. I can tap those and then the outlines go away. And then I can show side by side how her skin has changed. I'll hit compare report. And now I have a bar graph here. It tells me the percentiles side by side, and then her skin age side by side. SD card save, and then it saves right to the SD card again. Setting the thresholds for your skin percentile scores. From here, I'll go into settings, and then standard value settings. Standard value settings, it's gonna give us all of those conditions that the Optic scans for, and now we have these little sliders. This is telling us 0 to 20 is going to be where our poor condition falls, or we can actually move it up to 33. And then where is our threshold? Where are we gonna have that middle? And then where is our high end? This is important for when you're uploading the products and services, where those thresholds are of that severity. If you have something that's really aggressive for the texture, like a CO2 laser, you're gonna wanna make sure that 0 to something very low is that threshold. So from here, we'll go ahead and press that check mark. Manual product uploads. Sharing files. You can share your files directly from the Optic simply by going into Outlook. Once we open up the Outlook on your very first time, it's going to ask you for your login information, so your email address and your password. Once you put that information in, every time you go on to this email, it's gonna open up. You won't have to put in that information again. So from here, we're gonna go ahead and create a email. So we simply go to, and then who it's to, and then the subject, and then we can go ahead and attach the file. So I hit that little paper clip, choose from files, and then I can select that, SD card save that I already saved on here, and then we're able to send it off to our receiver. So once you've uploaded your products and services to the cloud, what you'll have to do is you're gonna have to come back to the Optic, go into settings. So it uploads to the cloud, and now we need to download it to the Optic. It doesn't talk directly. So from here, we go to settings, and then download data, download products. Now, all the products and services that you've loaded to the cloud are gonna populate on here. I'll select all, check mark, and now it says save successfully. So it's downloaded it to the Optic. Sharing customer files through your desktop or laptop computer. First, we need to put our SD card into the tablet. Putting the SD card into the tablet, we're gonna make sure those white letters are faced up. We're gonna slide it in until we hear a little click. We hit SD card save. It's saved to it. We'll press OK. Tilt it back to get the SD card out. To take it out, we'll push in. We'll hear the click, and it pops out. So from here, we take this SD card with our USB. Now, this USB slides right out. It also acts as an adapter. We're gonna take that SD card and put it into the side that has the little metal missing. If you flip it on this side, it's flat. This is the adapter. White letters faced out, and it's gonna slide right into the adapter port. And now we're able to stick it into any desktop or laptop computer. Plugging this into the USB port, make sure that SD card is face down, and then we'll slide it right in. Sharing customer files is just as easy as a couple clicks. We're going to go right to the Start Windows, to Documents. Now that SD card is going to be right in your USB drive. And then we go into Reports. Double click on that. All of our patient profiles are in alphabetical order. I'm going to go ahead and select Abby. And now they're in date that it was scanned. If I go into that scan, I can select that image. And now what we save to that SD card will populate here. We can go ahead, we can print it. We could save it to the computer. We can also share it directly from here via email. So your cloud is accessed through your desktop or your laptop. So you'll go to your computer. You're going to type in emilisun.com. That's e.milisun.com. You'll have a sheet of paper that came with your Optic. On that, it tells you what your username is, your password. So use that sheet of paper, go right on to eMilisun. Under username, we're going to type that in. Mine is Optic. And this is cap sensitive. So if the beginning of your username has a capital letter, make sure that it reflects when you're logging in. Our password, and then the verification code. Login. Okay, so once we log into our system management, this is what it looks like. On our left-hand side, it says Product. Under our product, this is what pops up. We have a template to fill out. On here, it says Add. So if I hit Add, now my template pops up. Even though it says Product, this means product and services. Anything you want loaded onto the Optic to start recommending, this is where you're going to load it in. So what I really like to do is take the product line that I'm using, open up another tab, and then what I can do is actually go back and forth between the product's website and my system management and copy and paste everything. So I'm right on this product website and I'm on my system management, 2 different tabs, and I just fill this in accordingly. So my product name, I'm going to take this product name and I'm going to highlight it, copy it into my system management, paste it. Product price. So you can put the price of your product or service, or you can put 0. It's really up to you. At the end of the day, the Optic is not a cash register. People like to put the pricing in there because if they're having a special and you scan your patient and it shows all the products and services recommended, everything recommended at once, it's a huge mountain, right? It's a big price tag. And people get a little afraid of that. And so sometimes people don't want to put their prices on there. A reason why they would want to put it on there is if they have a special, if they have a discount or they're a member who gets a special discount, then it will show them, wow, because I'm a member or because you have this special today, I can save this much. And instead of just buying one product, they'll go home with everything they need for their daily regimen. So up to you, product price. Application gender, male, female, or both. This is nice because if you have a product line just for men, you can have the Optic only populated for men. This product in particular, this exfoliating mask is for both. Application skin. So on a scale of 1 to 5, good to serious, how bad is this condition that we're treating with this product? So for this one here, this exfoliating mask, it's not that aggressive. So I would say it's for somebody of a 4. Out of a scale of 1 to 5 of severity, it's at a 4. And then for people, that's gonna be the age group. So this product in particular, I would say is for everybody. If you have an anti-aging line we'll put that in elderly. If you have a line that's just for teenagers, you can put that in juvenile. Next, product attribute. So this is asking us, out of all 10 skin conditions, this product or service that we're loading into here, what is it addressing? Is it addressing the pigmented lesions, the moisture, the paraffins? This one in particular, this exfoliating mask, we're going to go and target that texture. If you had it doing 2 different attributes at the same time, you can select that. So if it was a moisturizing for pigmented lesions, somebody who had pigment but it was a moisturizer, we can select both of those. Usage method. Again, this is where I go right back into that tab. I hit right into here. I'm going to copy and paste right into my system management, and now I have that description. Product image. From here, I'll go into my system management and go back into the tab of the product. If I right click, I can save as. Sometimes these images won't save. So in that case, what I like to do is just pull up my snipping tool. I'll go ahead and hit new and pull it across there. Save as. Save it on my desktop, save it. Oh, it's so easy. So easy. Back into system management, browse, and then I save that right to my desktop. And it was all files. There it is. There is that product picture. So I have what it's addressing, who it's for, at what severity, and then I have my image. I'm ready to go. I hit save. Now that product is saved into my cloud. Go through all of your products and services, load them in here accordingly, and then remember, your cloud does not communicate directly with your Optic. From here, you need to go back into your Optic settings, download data, and then download those products and services. The same with that logo. If you want to change out the logo on your Optic, we're just going to go right into advertising. So back over onto the panel of the left-hand side, advertising. And then we hit add. And from here, we can go ahead, browse, and then add a picture of our logo. Or maybe it's an ad, maybe it's a special you have for the season, and you want that to be on the screen when your patient comes in, what your daily special is. So you can change that accordingly, and then we're just gonna name it, the name of it. We have our picture loaded, save, and now it's uploaded to our cloud, and we're able to download it again through our settings, download data, download logo. So that's gonna do it for all of the ins and outs of how to operate your Optic Slim. Thank you so much for becoming part of the Optic family. Again, my name is Marissa. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Hey, Abigail, nice to see you again. Come on in.
Yeah.
Have a seat. We're gonna scan you into the Optic. We're gonna take a couple pictures with the Optic of your skin to see what's going on. We're gonna get a profile started for you. We're just gonna need a couple pieces of information. So first, your name. If you can go ahead and put your name in there. Perfect. And then female, and then your date of birth, please. Let's make sure we have the accurate year. What's your year of birth?
1994.
94, perfect. So we're gonna start the scan. I'm gonna hit new analysis. The camera lights are gonna come on. Rest your chin on the chin rest. Keep your eyes shut, hold still for just 1 second. You wanna make sure your patient's face is nice and lined up in this shot every time to stay consistent. Now that the patient's scan is all lined up with our guidelines, we want it to be a dark room. So we wanna make sure these are flipped up And then we're gonna pull the hood down to block out any extra light. All right, now that our patient's skin is all lined up, please hold still for me for a second here. I'm gonna hit that button on the bottom one time. It's gonna take the series of 3 pictures. Our first picture is RGB. That stands for red, green, blue. That's a high definition photo. Next, we have her UV lighting. That's ultraviolet. Lastly, we have PL. That stands for cross-polarized. All 3 images will populate on the bottom here. As soon as you see that 3rd photo, we can let our patient know it's okay to remove your face from the scanner. Thank you. And from here, we're gonna hit this green arrow. Abigail, so nice to see you again. Your results look amazing. Let's go ahead and scan you in the Optic to get a before and after photo. I'm gonna go ahead and go into your file, and we can scan you again on new analysis here. So the camera is gonna light up. If you don't mind, press your chin right on that chin rest. Eyes are closed, forehead right against that. Hold still just for a couple seconds. I'm gonna hit that camera button just one time. You'll see 3 flashes of light, RGB, UV. One more second, just bear with me. And then the polarized, you can come on out. We're gonna go right over here into adjusting your parameters. So let me go ahead and adjust these parameters. So your analysis is in progress here. It's gonna take those 3 pictures and break it down into the 10 images that we can go ahead and look and see what your skin's up to.